I've always believed a mother should never step into her child's life uninvited. But silence can grow heavier than pride. It had been months since my daughter last called, and something inside me whispered that her voice didn't sound right anymore. So one cold evening, I wrapped my shawl, took the bus across town, and went to her house, uninvited. The street was quiet, the curtains half drawn, and an uneasy stillness hung in the air. I moved closer to the window, and what I saw through that glass made my heart stop. My daughter sat on the sofa, eyes swollen from crying, while her husband stood beside another woman, laughing softly, touching her hand as if my child wasn't even there. My daughter turned away, hiding a bruise under her sleeve. Rage and fear tangled inside me, but something said, "Wait." When the stranger left, my son-in-law stormed out through the back door, leaving broken glass and red stains on the rug. My daughter picked up the pieces, trembling. I prayed it was only wine. But deep down, I knew better. Then I saw her move to the kitchen. Through the narrow window, I noticed an open box of pills on the counter. She stared at them, whispering words I couldn't hear. I tapped the glass. She didn't notice. When she reached for a glass of water, my heart screamed. I dialed emergency and whispered, "Please send someone. My daughter's in danger." I ran to the door, but it was locked. I banged, shouting her name. The sound of glass shattering came from inside. With shaking hands, I found the spare key every mother secretly keeps and burst in. The smell of wine and despair hit me. She was on the floor, gasping, her hand near the spilled pills. I held her, crying, begging, "Stay with me!" The sirens came, though to me it felt like eternity. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital. On the way, she whispered, "Mom, you came." In that instant, I knew a mother's instinct isn't just a feeling, it's a calling. At the hospital, the doctor said we were lucky, we had made it just in. Her husband arrived pale and silent. When they asked who called the police, I said, "A mother doesn't wait for permission to save her child." The bruises, the pills, the truth, all of it came out. She told me everything later, how fear kept her quiet, how shame kept her trapped. I listened, my heart breaking, and told her softly, "Love should never hurt my child. Staying is noble only when you are safe." Weeks passed and she slowly healed. One morning she asked, "What if you hadn't come that night?" I smiled through tears. Then this story would have ended differently. Even now, when I look back, I remember that cold window pane and the voice inside that refused to let me sleep. Maybe I crossed a line, but sometimes love must cross boundaries to save a life. They say mothers shouldn't interfere, but sometimes interference is mercy. And if you're listening to me tonight, and something in your heart feels uneasy about someone you love, don't ignore it. Silence can be dangerous, and pride can be deadly. If you sense something is wrong, go. Don't wait for permission, because sometimes love doesn't knock politely, it breaks through the window to save you. And if this story reminds you of someone you love, reach out tonight. One call, one message, one visit might be the difference between regret and relief.